There are moments when time bends, when the heavens speak, when ordinary days are stamped by eternity. And you, yes, you have been chosen. Don't scroll. Don't skip. Because this moment might just be the most important message you hear all year. If you stop now, you may walk into March 25th unarmed. But if you stay, something will awaken inside you that's been buried under the noise and numbness for far too long. You were not born by accident. March 21st marks the moment heaven turns its eyes toward you. There are moments in life that seem small until time reveals their true weight. And for many, March 25 might appear as just another date on the calendar, but for the ones who have been sensing a shift, for the ones who felt that deep stirring inside, a pull that doesn't come from the world but from somewhere higher, this isn't just a day. It's a divine moment, tailor-made for the chosen. If that resonates with you, then this message isn't just being spoken, it's being delivered. March 25 isn't your breakthrough, it's your summons. Your name has been whispered in the courts of heaven. You've been assigned for something that this world desperately needs. And the reason you've been feeling the tension, the warfare, the strange silences, and sudden losses, it's all been preparation. Heaven has been preparing you for an encounter, a moment, a mission, and that moment draws near. You are the one He chose, not because you're the most ready, but because you're the most willing. And willingness is what heaven moves through. People may have overlooked you. They may not see what you carry, but God does. And now, that calling that's been dormant, the dream that's been delayed, the vision that's been under attack, it's all coming back to life. Because the countdown isn't just about a day. It's about an awakening. God never calls people into seasons without purpose. If you've been feeling like your life has been on pause, it's because something holy has been brewing in the quiet. You've been hidden, not forgotten. Protected, not abandoned. Covered, not cast aside. And when the heavens begin to open on March 25, it won't just be another church service, another video, another motivation. It will be a divine signal to those whose spirits are awake. And the truth is, only the chosen can hear it. That's why you can't ignore this moment. That's why you can't go into March 25 like it's just another Monday. The realm of the Spirit doesn't move according to man's calendar, but it does respond to prepared hearts. If you've been crying out for clarity, for direction, for your moment, this is it. But heaven doesn't shout, it whispers. And you got to be ready to hear. So take this as your sign, not a coincidence, not a mistake. This is your time, this is your call, and this is your confirmation. You are the chosen one. And March 25 is not waiting. Will you be ready? Why March 25? That's the question burning in the minds of many. Why this day? What's so special about it? Why does it feel different? Even if you can't quite explain why, that's because in the kingdom of heaven, nothing is random. And when you belong to God, you begin to realize that your steps are ordered, not accidental. Every date, every encounter, every moment holds weight when it's part of a divine timeline. March 25th is not just a random point in time, it is a divine appointment, and heaven has circled it for a reason. You see, there's a difference between calendar time and kingdom time. In our human view, days come and go and they all look the same. But in the spiritual realm, certain dates are windows, openings, where heaven intersects with earth in a tangible way, prophetic moments. Turning points, appointed seasons where destinies are confirmed and assignments are activated. March 25 is one of those moments. It's not about superstition, it's not about hype, it's about alignment. When God's timing collides with your preparation, something powerful is born. If you felt an urgency lately, like something is approaching, and you don't even know why, that's not anxiety, that's spiritual sensitivity. Your spirit is picking up what your mind hasn't caught up to yet. March 25th is not just a date, it's a signpost. It's a point where God is going to make some things clear, and ears to hear will truly understand its weight. Think about it. How many random days in your past ended up changing everything? A normal day, you met the right person. A regular morning, you got the call that shifted your life. A quiet moment that ended up becoming the loudest confirmation of your purpose. This is how God works. Subtle but sovereign, simple but strategic. And if you're not spiritually awake, you'll miss the gravity of the moment. March 25th is when the curtain pulls back just a little, just enough to give you a glimpse of what's ahead. A divine checkpoint, not just a day to feel something, but a day to decide something. A day that asks you, are you still playing with your calling or are you ready to step into it? Are you still waiting for another sign or are you realizing this is the sign? Many people are waiting for lightning bolts or audible voices, but God often speaks in patterns. And if you've been paying attention, He's been repeating Himself lately, calling you back, drawing you deeper, making you uncomfortable in places that used to feel safe. That's because the appointment is near and heaven doesn't let you walk into it unshaken. The truth is, March 25 is not about the date, it's about the decision. It's a choice to align, to step up, to recognize the weight of the moment and respond accordingly. When you understand that, everything changes. You don't walk casually into destiny. You walk alert. You walk ready. This isn't a motivational slogan. This is a spiritual summons. And it's being delivered to those who know deep down this is no ordinary season. You've been positioned for this. It is not enough to be called. Many are called, but few are chosen, and even few are prepared. Being chosen is a privilege, but preparation is the key to stepping into the fullness of what God has for you. If you feel like you've been called to something greater, then you need to realize that calling without preparation is like planting seeds without the soil, sunlight, or water. It may look good for a moment, but it won't bear fruit. And when your appointed time arrives, when that moment of destiny strikes, you'll find yourself unprepared, and the opportunity will pass by. The cost of delay is high. We live in a culture that glorifies instant gratification, where we can swipe, click, and access anything we want with just a touch of a button. But God doesn't work that way. He isn't in a hurry. He moves in His timing, and His timing is often in seasons, where the work that needs to be done is not always visible in the moment. Sometimes God asks us to wait. But waiting doesn't mean inactivity. Waiting is preparation. It's about growing in the waiting, building character, strengthening your foundation, and getting your heart in alignment with what God is about to release. What happens when we delay preparation? We miss out on divine opportunities. Delays are often self-inflicted. We procrastinate, thinking we'll get to it tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. Instead of facing the discomfort of preparation, we choose comfort, delaying the hard work, the discipline, the sacrifice, and the decisions that shape us into who God needs us to be. But when the appointed moment arrives, when March 25 comes, it's too late to catch up. Destiny doesn't wait for you to figure it out. It demands readiness. And readiness isn't a spontaneous act. It's a lifestyle of intentional preparation. How often do we get distracted? Life pulls us in 1,000 directions, and suddenly we realize we've let time slip away. But even in the busyness, there's still a call. God is patient with us, but there's a point where He won't let us wander aimlessly anymore. The signs have been there, the inner stirrings, the whispers, the promptings. You've felt them, but maybe you've ignored them, thinking that there's time later to prepare. But time doesn't wait. You don't get to pick when your moment comes. When that moment comes, when March 25 breaks open, it will be too late to scramble, too late to suddenly decide that you want to be spiritually fit, too late to try and learn the lessons that preparation would have taught you. The urgency of your calling won't give you time to catch up on what you should have done in the secret place. It won't give you a chance to get ready when you should have been preparing all along. The good news is you still have time. March 25 isn't the deadline. It's a wake-up call. It's a divine reminder that preparation matters, that getting ready isn't something you do the night before a big event, but something you've been doing every day. It's in the quiet moments, the decisions you make when no one is watching. It's in the unseen hours when you choose discipline over distraction, faith over fear, and obedience over comfort. But if you've been putting off the preparation, if you've been delaying and making excuses, now is the time to stop. Don't let fear of failure or comparison hold you back. The cost of delay is more than missed opportunities. It's missed impact. It's missing the very reason you were chosen. The moment is coming. Will you be ready for it, or will you let it slip by because you... The choice is yours. You can start today. You can choose now to begin the work, to begin the transformation. You can choose to prepare for the breakthrough that March 25 promises to bring. Because when it arrives, there will be no turning back. Will you be ready to step into your calling, or will you be left wondering what could have been? There is an unmistakable shift happening in the spiritual atmosphere right now. A sense that something is building. Something is preparing to break through. It's like the air just before a storm. You can't see it, but you can feel the tension, the anticipation, the rising pressure. These signs, these shakings, they are not by accident. They are not coincidences. They are the result of a divine orchestration that is unfolding behind the scenes. And the closer we get to March 25, the more pronounced these signs will become. For those who have been awake, who have been watching, who have been spiritually alert, these signs will be unmistakable. But for the unaware, for those who are asleep to the move of God, they will be missed entirely. The shaking is not just external, it's internal too. Have you noticed that areas of your life that once felt stable, once felt secure, are suddenly being disrupted? Have you felt an unsettling in your spirit, like God is rearranging things, moving you out of your comfort zone? That's not an accident. That's the hand of God. It's the work of divine realignment, preparing you for the moment ahead. What's happening is more than just a personal challenge or a series of random events. It's a spiritual adjustment, a necessary refining, and it's leading you straight to March 25. The closer we get to this date, the more these signs will become amplified. What once felt like a subtle nudge will soon feel like a divine push, and you'll know that you can no longer ignore the call. Signs don't always announce themselves with grand gestures. In fact, they're often quiet. They speak in whispers. They show up in the small, seemingly insignificant moments, like a shift in your dreams, a sudden pull on your heart, a verse that keeps appearing, a situation that's been brewing just below the surface. These aren't just random occurrences. They are the way heaven signals that something is about to happen, something that cannot be ignored, something that when it arrives will change everything. But if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. The shaking isn't just about God preparing the external circumstances. It's about Him preparing you. The inner work is just as important as the outer. March 25 isn't just a date on the calendar. It's a time of acceleration, of divine alignment, of purpose being unlocked. But the question is, are you ready for the shift? Are you ready for the change that's coming? Or will you resist it because it's uncomfortable? The shaking you feel in your life right now is not punishment. It is preparation. It is God's way of shaking loose everything that doesn't belong so that you can step fully into your destiny. There will be those who experience this moment with ease, flowing into it because they've been paying attention to the signs and have prepared their hearts. But for those who have ignored the stirrings, those who have let their focus shift elsewhere, March 25 will come like a wave, and it will either push you forward or overwhelm you. That's why it's so important to understand the spiritual significance of the time leading up to this moment. The signs are not meant to frighten you. They are meant to awaken you. They are there to guide you, to help you see the bigger picture, and to call you higher. When March 21st arrives, it will not be a time of quiet waiting. It will be a time of action. And what happens in that moment will depend on how well you've responded to the signs, how well you've recognized the subtle shifts that have been taking place in your life. It's about being spiritually awake enough to see that something has already begun even before the day arrives. And the key to stepping into this next season is to be fully aware of what God is doing now, so that when the time comes, you're already in position. The shaking is happening for a reason. The signs are not in vain. They are the whispers of destiny calling you forward. You are not meant to blend in. You were never designed to fit into the ordinary mold of this world. You are made to stand apart, to be set apart for a higher purpose. This season is about understanding that you are being called to something that requires more than just your participation. It demands your complete separation. It demands that you rise above the distractions, the noise, the things that would hold you back from fully embracing your calling. March 25 is not just a date. It's a moment where everything you have been prepared for will begin to take shape, but only for those who have allowed themselves to be separated for something greater. The truth is, God's purpose for your life is often not revealed in the crowd. It's revealed in the secret place, in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when you are alone with God and your thoughts. The separation process is never easy. It's not about cutting people off in a harsh or rude way, but it's about discerning what is no longer necessary for your growth, what relationships, what influences, what environments you need to step away from in order to elevate to the next level. There are seasons in your life where God will call you to pull away, to distance yourself from the noise, from the distractions, from the toxic connections that keep you from hearing His voice clearly. And in this moment, with March 25 approaching, that separation is essential. You can no longer afford to carry the weight of relationships or mindsets that are holding you back. This is a season of elevation, and elevation requires separation. God doesn't elevate those who remain tied to what is beneath them. To rise, you must leave behind the things that weigh you down, whether it's unhealthy relationships, unhelpful habits, or old mindsets. They must be left behind in order for you to step into the fullness of your calling. The elevation that is coming for you is a result of the preparation you've gone through and the decisions you've made along the way. The separation is a process of purging, letting go of what isn't in alignment with the calling God has placed on your life. There are those who will be content staying in the comfort zone, remaining in relationships or environments that are familiar, but ultimately stifle growth. But there are others, those who are called to something greater, who will answer the call to step out of their comfort zones. They will step into the unknown, embracing the unfamiliar because they know that what God has for them is bigger than anything they could ever imagine. March 21st marks a shift, and you are being separated for a reason. It's not a rejection of who you are, but an invitation to become who you were always meant to be. You can no longer afford to blend in with the crowd. You are meant to stand apart, to be the light in the darkness, to carry a message that the world needs to hear. But first, you must embrace the separation that will elevate you. God is calling you higher. And that requires a willingness to leave behind what is comfortable, familiar, and perhaps even good in order to step into what is best. When the moment of elevation comes, you will be ready, not because you have everything figured out, but because you've learned to trust God in the separation. You've learned that the higher you go, the fewer people you need to bring with you. Elevation requires sacrifice. It requires a willingness to go alone for a season, knowing that your obedience to God's call will lead to the fulfillment of your destiny. When March 25 arrives, you will step into that moment fully prepared, fully separated for the work that God has assigned to you. And in that separation, you will find the strength, the clarity, and the boldness to fulfill the purpose for which you were created. The time for preparation is over. March 25 is not a day to hesitate, not a day to wonder if you're ready. It's a day to act, a day to step into the promise that has been waiting for you. The preparation phase has been difficult for many, but it was necessary. It was the time of pruning, the time of refining, the time when you were shaped and molded to carry what you are about to step into. Now, it's no longer about waiting. It's about moving forward with confidence, clarity, and purpose. March 25 will reveal who you truly are, but it will also demand that you rise to the occasion. It's time to take everything you've learned and everything you've become and put it into action. Wow, Convener, many of us spend years in seasons of waiting, thinking that one day we'll be ready. But readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. It's the moment you decide to stop waiting for the perfect circumstances and start stepping into what God has already ordained for you. There is never a moment where you'll feel fully prepared, fully qualified, or fully ready. That's not how faith works. Faith works in action. Works when you step into the unknown, when you trust that God will equip you as you go, not before. And March 25 is that moment where you will be called to act. No more hesitating, no more wondering. The time for action has come. The world is waiting for those who are ready to rise up and fulfill their purpose. You have been uniquely positioned for this moment, and the world needs what you carry. It's easy to look at the challenges, the obstacles, and the failures of the past and feel that maybe you're not ready. But here's the truth. God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. He doesn't look at your past mistakes, your failures, or your short. He looks at your heart and He sees someone who is ready to step into their destiny. The only thing that's left is for you to believe it. You are not disqualified by your mistakes. You are not disqualified by your lack of experience. You are qualified by the one who called you. March 25 is a moment of activation. It's not about waiting for everything to align perfectly. It's about stepping into it now. You are ready for what lies ahead. The wisdom you need, the strength you need, the guidance you need. It will come as you take the first step. The greatest risk is in not taking the step at all. It's in staying stuck, waiting for the perfect moment. When the truth is, the perfect moment is already here. It's now. It's your time to move forward, to rise up, and to claim the destiny that has been waiting for you. It's time to stop doubting and start doing. The preparation has been intense, but it has been necessary to build the character and foundation that will carry you through the challenges ahead. March 25th is not just a day to look forward to, it's a day to act upon. The question is, will you take the step? Will you rise to the occasion, trust that God has equipped you, and move forward in faith? The world is waiting for you to take your place, to rise up and to act in the authority that God has given you. You are more than ready. You have everything you need to succeed in this moment. March 25 will reveal that you were prepared all along, but it's up to you to take that first step and trust that God will carry you the rest of the way. This is your time to shine, your time to act, your time to rise. There is no more waiting. Now is the time to claim what has been prepared for you. The world is waiting for the real you to show up. And that moment begins on March 25. Will you step into it?